Hi everyone, how's it going? Long time. If you're new here, this is Tenzin Wangchuk, one of the doctors from Canberra, Australia. Today I'll be discussing how to get a perfect score in PTE, also known as Pearson's Test of English Academic. So let's get started. First things first, with every examination, we must understand what is its format and what is its marking distribution. So if I briefly speak about the PTE examination, there is speaking and writing for about 54 to 67 minutes. This is followed by reading for 30 minutes, and then there's listening for 30 minutes. In terms of subscriptions or resources, now I'm someone who first look for free subscriptions or resources and then for cheaper options which have a good quality of study materials. The E2 PTE in YouTube is extremely good, and I would highly suggest you go through all the free videos, you chase through them, and then you study them. There's also PTE Ape Uni YouTube channel, and their website is absolutely amazing for practice. So it costs about $24.09, almost $25, and if we convert into Indian currency, comes around 1,350, which is the cheapest option out of all the subscriptions that I've chased in the websites. Just an FYI, this is not a collab or branding promotion. You know me well, right? I'm not primarily behind any branding or any collaboration or the monetary part of the YouTube. My primary focus is to share good things with you guys and to make sure that you get through this examination in your first attempt. Now, this is an AI based examination where an AI will score your performance. And just an FYI as well, there are so many YouTube videos that I've seen which teaches you how to fool the AI in the examination. And I feel that this is extremely dangerous to follow their templates or to do whatever they tell you to do. Now, I didn't follow them, and I thought that I will do my level best rather than fooling the AI in the actual examination. I will briefly discuss few things from each format of the examination, and I'll share more ideas on the areas where I feel that my tips will help improve your scores in the actual examination. The first one in the reading section is the read aloud section. Now, as an international medical graduate, we often tend to speak flat based on our dialectics. I would highly suggest that be it PTE, be it OET, or any international English examination, the basic expectation is there should be voice modulation. You shouldn't speak flat. Now, you might not realize that you are speaking flat, which is also the same in my case. I used to speak flat. Now, I've realized this during my practice sessions where I used to record myself, and you can also share your recordings with someone who you believe that who can add more values to your preparation. Now, always make sure that when you speak in the PT examination, you use voice modulations where you stress more on certain words and then you try to say it like you're speaking it to someone rather than just like reading a text by yourself. Um, for the read aloud section, it's also very important that when you read it a bit faster than your usual self, but also ensuring that you don't make any mistakes and you don't have any pauses. You don't go back and try to correct yourself in the actual examination. With repeat sentence, you just listen to a voice recording and you say it as much as possible without any pauses, corrections, or hesitations. Now, it is absolutely okay that in terms of longer sentences, we often tend to skip few words, and I've done that in the actual exam as well, and that does not necessarily reduce your score significantly. The idea is to say as much things as possible that you hear in the examination. All right, so let's practice describe image section with a template that I've got, and you'll get about 30 seconds to prepare in your mind and what you're gonna say, and then with the template, we're gonna smash it out. All right, let's go. So the bar graph represents car sales in Japan in 2015 to 2017. including sedan, SUV, and hatchback. We can see that hatchback has the highest sale in 2016, about 95,000, followed by sedan in 2015, about 90,000. Conversely, SUV has the lowest sale in 2015, about 65,000. In conclusion, based on the given information, there is a significant difference in car sales in 2015 to 2017. That's it. Easy, right? So with the template, you know where to fix certain information and you'll be more fluent in speaking without any hesitation or pauses. Obviously, this needs a lot and a lot and a lot of practice, but you'll get there, sure. Now, in the next section called Retell Lecture, you will hear a lecture, and while hearing that, you have to start writing notes on a pen and paper, which you will also get in the actual examination. And you have to write all the keywords or the key sentences. The more you write, the better it is. And using the template that I'll be mentioning now, you have to retell the lecture. Always remember, also, in this case, this is not a knowledge based examination, this is an English examination, and it's based on how you are saying things rather than the knowledge based around the actual facts. So you can say something like the speaker was discussing dash, he mentioned how dash, then he discussed the way in which, he suggested that. If there's an example, you can say he used the example of, and always make sure that when you conclude, say that you like show that you are concluding and use the sentence like, finally he concluded by saying. The next section is answer short question, where you have to answer probably with one word. The questions will be something like, who is the person who can help you in the hospital? Now, in this section, there are some questions which can be a bit tricky and which can be very English or very international, and it's absolutely okay if you don't know the answer. This section doesn't have much weightage in terms of marks. So, the next section is summarize written text, where there will be about 3 paragraph text, and you have to summarize using words less than 75. I would usually aim for 30 to 40 words. There is a very good teaching in E2 language PTE, and I would highly suggest you go through those videos to get an idea of how to summarize the sentences. Now, I would usually start typing as soon as I finish one paragraph. I'll start typing the importance or significance or the key things of that paragraph, and then I'll go to the second and then the third. Now, when you're finished with all the 3 paragraphs, I would usually use connectors to connect all the 3 paragraphs to combine into only one sentence. I would use connectors like additionally, moreover, subsequently, conversely, indeed, and these connectors add so much value to your scores. The next section is essay writing, which is a scoring part of the examination. You will most likely get 2 essays, and it'll be based on general things like medicine, science, politics, branding, or any topic. So it's absolutely okay if you have a basic idea about those topics and you don't necessarily have to know about everything, but obviously the more you know the better. So even with the essay, I have a template where first I will write the introduction, which means what are you going to tell. In the introduction, I have 3 key things. The first thing is overview statement, where I'll speak about where I write about, not speak about, where I write about general things, not agreeing or disagreeing with the particular point. And also, now I remember that in the essay, you will often be asked to either agree or disagree to the topic of the essay, like in a debate, or sometimes it can be a general essay like importance of environmental preservation, something like that. So in the introduction, the first thing is the overview statement. The second thing is to rewrite the question prompt. And I would use sentences like, Many people believe that dash. So if you're disagreeing, I can write something like, while some people believe that dash, I disagree with this idea, or I disagree with the idea. The third thing is the main point, what you will be discussing in the essay. So I write something like, in this essay, I will discuss how the main topic, or you can also use something like, this essay will discuss how dash. All right, and then comes the body of the paragraph. I would usually use two main paragraphs, with each paragraph having the similar format. So in the first paragraph, I will use a first thing, I will use a point of the main point of the paragraph. The second thing is I'll use an example or a reason for the first point that I've mentioned. And the third thing is conclusion. So I will conclude the first paragraph by using sentences like clearly or indeed. In the second body of the paragraph, I'll use all these three formats again. The final thing in your essay is conclusion, where there's two main things to discuss. The first thing is to reiterate your main idea one and main idea two in the first and the second paragraph. So you write something like, in this essay, I have discussed main idea one and main idea two. The second thing is to conclude with an opinion. So I'll write something like, in my opinion, or personally. Always make sure that you use some words in your essay to show the AI that you are concluding your essay, because conclusion also has its own marks. So after you're done with the essay, for practice, I would highly recommend use the chat GPT, and you copy paste the essay and you tell chat GPT what corrections you would need, what is the score of the PTE. And also I would always look through and ask chat GPT what will be the better version, or a more corrected version, or a higher scoring version of my essay. And I'll write those things, or especially the connectors, especially the way the words are used. And these have subsequently helped me to get a better and a better score. For the reading and the listening sections, there's nothing much that I can teach you to add values to improve your scores, except the fact that you must practice, practice, and practice. Please remember that the AI in the app uni is much simpler as compared to the actual AI in the examination, which means that you will be getting a much lower score than the actual PTE examination score in the app uni PTE. But that does not necessarily matter. All that matters is how you can improve from your mistakes and how much practice you can do before the actual examination. All right, that's the end of our video. And in conclusion, I would like to say that there's no shortcut to any examination. Even though PTE English sounds like a very simple, straightforward, easy examination, I put a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, and a lot of time to practice it to get high scores. And I would also suggest that you do the same and not take any examination for granted. I wish you the best, and let me know in the comment section how much did you score after your PTE examination. All right, see ya in the next vlog. Bye.